Asheville police say they are investigating multiple incidents of shots fired in West Asheville in recent days. They say they happened on Virginia Avenue and Druid Drive.
News 13's Caitlin Penner spoke with officials and people who live in the areas who say this puts them all in danger.
Asheville police say shots were fired into a home on Druid Drive. They say shots were fired into another home on Virginia Avenue. People who live here on Virginia Avenue say when you add in the shots that were fired here on Saturday night, they say they're keeping their eyes open.
She said, "Oh my gosh, Mom, the guys pulled up in the car and there were 3 gunshots."
This mom says her daughter was home alone on Saturday night when she heard gunshots just several houses away.
Yeah, it's super scary because my neighbor across the street was getting ready to take his baby out for a walk.
Asheville police say someone was firing into the street. No one was hurt. 2 nights later, police had to come back out.
Fast forward to last night, there was another incident of gunfire on Virginia Avenue. Where in this case a number of rounds actually struck a residence there.
Neighbors say this is the home that police say was hit by 18 rounds. We found multiple bullet holes in the front window. Around that same time, police say they responded to another house that had been shot at 9 times on Druid Drive. Police adding that the incident may be connected to another incident Buncombe County Sheriff's deputies responded to in another location.
We believe, especially the one on Druid Drive, may have been some sort of retaliation from the earlier incident.
Police don't believe that any of these incidents are random. They say the 2 on Virginia Avenue could be connected. And police say they've seen an increase in the last few weeks.
Whether or not that has something to do with what's going on in the world, or if it's just how crimes like this tend to rise in the summer traditionally.
Asheville police say they do have some leads on who might have fired the shots here on Virginia Avenue, but they're still asking people if you know anything about any of these incidents to please contact them.
Buncombe County school leaders have reworked the district's Return to Learn plan.
Teachers and students will now report back to class in August under what's being called Plan B Beyond. News 13's Stephanie Sanastasi shows us what that looks like and how teachers feel about the decision.
Board members say this is one of the most difficult decisions they've ever had to make. Teachers understand that, even though for the most part, most were hoping to go fully remote. They say this modified Plan B is at least a good start. Before the meeting even began, teachers, parents, and students stood outside the Buncombe County Board of Education building with red t-shirts and signs, hoping their voices would be heard.
It was very clear that they were listening to us in the board meeting.
Christy Core is a Buncombe County teacher. She says although they weren't able to give public comment here today, they did get a chance prior to this to share their opinions.
They listened to us for about an hour and a half, and we presented all of our concerns from our BCAU members that they had expressed.
The motion passes 4-3.
After more than an hour and a half discussion, the school board passed the modified Plan B.
It was a split decision because it was so difficult.
A proposal recommended by school staff and Superintendent Dr. Tony Baldwin.
The 6-week reentry plan that we have submitted to you, Plan B Beyond, is probably most similar to the Charlotte-Mecklenburg model.
Only those families who chose to follow the Plan B option will follow this model. For families who have already chosen full remote learning for the first semester, nothing changes.
Our recommendation to you today has elements of both plans.
Students following Plan B Beyond will need to report to school to meet teachers the first and second weeks of school. K through 8 will only go the first week, though, alternating days. High school students will be in person the first 2 weeks of school, alternating days, to give them time to meet their teachers for all classes that semester. Following this, students will begin online instruction until at least September 28th.
It now gives teachers the time to prepare and plan.
Our board is very conscious of the teaching population as well as the student population. And I think it was a good compromise situation.
Again, this Plan B Beyond remains in effect for the first 6 weeks of school. School board members plan to meet before this ends to reevaluate how the rest of the semester will look.
The Buncombe County Sheriff's Office says a detainee at the jail has died. Hannah Guffey was found unresponsive yesterday morning. She was pronounced dead at Mission Hospital last night at 10:15. Guffey was accused of hitting and killing a cyclist in Buncombe County on July 18th. The Sheriff's Office officials have not said how she died. The Jackson County's Board of Education voted to implement a hybrid of the state's Plan B. Also, Buncombe County school leaders approved Plan B Beyond for the school year. It includes alternating days for students at different grade levels to be in the classroom. Asheville City school leaders plan to release a more detailed version of their Plan C later today. The Asheville City Council approved plans to build a new solar energy system. It is part of a joint project with the county. The solar panels will go up at the Wall Street parking deck, Burton Street Community Center, Shiloh Center, and fire stations 10 and 11. Now here's meteorologist Ryan Coulter with your Skywatch forecast.
After some morning fog this morning, we're going to see partly cloudy skies for the first half of the day. Temperatures quickly warming into the 80s by lunchtime, and then this afternoon increasing clouds and another round of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be on the stronger side. We have a weather warn day for not just today, but tomorrow and Friday as well. We're worried about some heavy rain in those thunderstorms along with some damaging winds. So we could see a flooding threat increasing through the afternoon and evening time today, and much of the same for tomorrow as well. It times out for us right around that 1 o'clock hours when we'll start to see the first thunderstorms popping up across the area, lasting into the rest of the afternoon and evening. We clear it out tonight, looking for partly cloudy skies overnight. Highs today make it into the lower and middle 80s across the area, and we do have a few more days of rain to go, staying in that unsettled pattern through the weekend. Here's your forecast for the next 7 days. Highs in the 80s for the weekend, and then cooling off eventually by next week with temperatures falling back into the 80s.